meat.
Welcome back from the break. This is Mostly Superheroes. I'm your host, Logan, back here in the studio with Scotty, Scoop, and the Giggler, talking about superhero stuff. This is Mostly Superheroes. It's time for the meat, time for the chunk, the sizzle. It's why you came. It's why you're here. And today's all about a sequel, a Sony sequel, actually. You may have heard of it. Andrew Garfield is back in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. We're going to break it down. A little help from Wikipedia, a little background on the movie to set us up before we break it down. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, internationally titled The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Rise of Electro. This is on Wikipedia. Have you guys ever heard that?
Never.
Rise of Electro?
Nope.
You think that's true?
That's not my Spider-Man
Okay,
title.
This is per Wikipedia. 2014 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character Spider-Man. The film was directed by Mark Webb. He's back. Produced by Avi Arad and Matt Tomek. It is the fifth theatrical Spider-Man film produced by Columbia Pictures and Marvel Entertainment, the sequel to The Amazing Spider-Man from 2012. And it is the final film in this series, even though this movie is a big cliffhanger in itself. We only get the two Amazing Spider-Man films, and the movie actually stars here Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Emma Stone comes back as Gwen Stacy, Jamie Foxx, Dane DeHaan, Campbell Scott, Embeth Davidtz, Colm Feore, and Paul Giamatti. And Sally Field comes back as Aunt May. And Peter Parker is going to try to protect Gwen Stacy as he investigates his parents' death while facing off against another mysterious villain. This is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Just to set us up with the budget, this thing had $230 million to work with. Exactly the same budget as the first movie. 2 years in between. The first movie made $758 million. How much do you think this one made, Andy?
About the same.
709, about $50 million less than the first go around, but still not too shabby in terms of box offices out there. Let's break it down. How many times you seen this, Scotty Scoop, and how'd this rewatch go for you this time?
Man, this is going to be maybe only my third or fourth watch, and it's been at least 6 years.
Been a while.
It was okay.
That sounds about right.
I would retitle it The Mediocre Spider-Man.
Yes, like for having amazing in the title.
Yeah.
It's kind of okay. Giggler, how'd this rewatch go for you, and how many times you seen it?
About the same for me. I honestly may have only seen it, besides today, maybe one other time in my life.
Yes.
I think. And now I remember why.
Mm-hmm.
But
and whenever this thing was coming out in 2014, I feel like, and we all, like, tell me if you agree or disagree, but I mean, I remember feeling like the same exact way about the first one. Just like, okay, they're just going to make another. They're gonna keep going with this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember why I don't even know if I saw this in theaters.
I mean,
was I that down on it then? I don't know.
And I feel like 2014, like, I mean.
Oh, I did for sure.
You
It's
went and
not
saw
that
in
long ago.
theaters?
Oh, I saw it in theaters for sure.
I feel like I would have, because at
I'm
that
not
point,
missing one.
I wasn't missing anything
Yeah.
superhero-wise. You know, I was lining up at the door for midnight screening of
Mhm.
Fantastic Four. Like, I didn't care what it was. You're probably right. But here we go, The Amazing Spider-Man. We're not going to break this thing down all the way. We're going to pretty much hit the high points, the low points, and all the things we thought about it. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to admit when we're wrong. And we basically said that there's a lot of, like, loose ends in the first movie that don't get tied up in this movie. We were just completely wrong. We just didn't remember the movie. Let's just start off with the first piece. We're like, oh, they never explain anything about his parents or that plane crash.
Nothing.
Well, guess what? The opening sequence of this movie pops up just like the first one did. A flashback to the other side of the story, not just the parents leaving little Peter Parker, but what happens. Essentially, I mean, it's still not that intriguing.
Right.
It's like a cool fight scene to the death on an airplane, and his parents do die. I feel like they led us to believe that maybe one of them was going to survive. There was the one parachute. Just one parachute. But no, they go to their death. Richard Parker, this is his dad, sends off one big file. He was working with Oscorp, and this was his big last thing to send this video to his son. We're going to find out more about that. Peter Parker in this one, picking up off the last one. Gwen Stacy, he promised her dad that he wouldn't date her, and he's very much dating her in this one, and he's very much feeling very guilty about it, seeing her dad like everywhere he goes.
All over.
We got Andy.
he's like emo Spider-Man. I feel like.
You think he's emo Spider-Man?
Yeah, like, I mean, obviously we know who the real emo Spider-Man is.
Come on, yeah, we know who
But
that title belongs to.
That's Bully Maguire. But like, I feel like the whole movie, he's just like intensely dramatic at all times.
Yes, no matter what it's about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And also just intensely awkward with his aunt and awkward with Gwen. And I don't know if it's an Andrew Garfield thing or
It's an Andrew.
he's just kind of
For sure.
he seems kind of like a sleazeball.
He's a very he's a serious actor, and I think he was just overacting the part.
Yes.
You know, I don't think he had fun with it.
Yeah. Like, and it's a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, like come on, man, loosen up.
Loosen up a little bit. And while in the midst of all this, while he's trying to figure out if he's going to date Gwen Stacy or not, the big this decision, we meet a new character, Max.
Max Dillon.
Max Dillon, played by Jamie Foxx, is in this film. Nerdy. I'm a nobody.
Yeah,
Nobody likes me, but Spider-Man saves me one day. He works at Oscorp, right?
Of course, because who doesn't?
Well, who doesn't? Everyone,
Yeah, exactly.
Even kids at the high school work at this
Yeah,
place.
bring him in.
And that's essentially the only people that can be involved with what's happening in this movie are Oscorp people.
Yeah,
Except for we do get the opening sequence of Spider-Man being Spider-Man trying to make it to his high school graduation, and we get Paul Giamatti driving that semi. I'm sitting here in the first 10 minutes, and I go, that's Paul Giamatti.
Yep.
I go, Andy was just talking about him in Billions. He's in the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
right.
He's
And
a way different person.
Forgot all about it.
and committed.
Oh yeah, he was
Maybe
in
the best character.
100%.
He's in it for 30 seconds total. And he is just yelling that he's like a big Russian guy,
Yeah, it's all tatted up.
all tatted up. And I was like, this is a villain right here. Give me this guy. But yeah, we meet Max. And I guess the big thing that's happened at Oscorp now is they're into sustainable energy. So the first one was about animal hybrid genetic testing. This is like, hey, we can solve the electric problem by putting a bunch of eels in tanks and taking their electricity.
Yep. That'll support the grid.
That'll support the grid. I mean, it was kind of a, when's this guy going to get his powers?
Yeah.
Well, this guy will get his powers right away.
Yeah.
Max, Jamie Foxx wanders up into this place, slips off a rail, falls into the eel tank, and becomes Electro.
They do a great job of making you feel bad for him at that point, of just how much of a just outcast he really is.
Oh yeah, it's sad
'Cause
sack.
Isn't that
You
when
know,
like
just
Sad
like-
as sad as you can be.
It
Oh
was
yeah.
it was his birthday when this happened.
His
And
Right.
everyone just abandoned him at work.
And he bought himself his own card.
Yeah. That guy from The Office is his boss.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
BJ Novak.
Yes,
BJ Novak.
yes.
Yeah. And he's like,
Alistair Smythe, Spider-Man villain.
yeah,
It's something that just didn't go anywhere.
really just a guy that's named that.
Ah.
Yep.
And yeah, he's like, they're all getting on the elevator, and he's like, "Hey Max, why don't you go deal with the eel problem?" And he's like, "Why do I have to stay?"
It was sad.
It was sad. It was really sad, but it was also like just the most like, I was like, this is totally written by someone who's never been in an office building in their entire life.
Oh yeah.
Like not everyone goes the elevator at once. It's not like, oh, why do I have to stay and everybody else has to go? Like, this is Oscorp.
Yeah.
Like, you just be at your desk. Like, nobody knows. Who else do we get in this? I mean, Gwen Stacy's dad. I mean, he's in this movie quite a bit.
Shows up.
What's his name from Rescue Me?
Dennis Leary.
Dennis Leary.
yeah.
He's in the credits. I mean, he's just staring down Peter Parker all the time. Aunt May is still pretty bummed about Uncle Ben dying. I thought their whole relationship was weird too. Like, just didn't feel very grounded, and she's just crazy. Like, her trying to like get into the bedroom whenever he's in his Spider-Man suit, and then him wanting to do his own laundry, and she like won't let him.
Right.
I mean, he's like 23. Like, he should be doing his own laundry. We don't get much callback to the Lizard Man from the first one, but we do get some of it whenever we meet Harry Osborne's son. I'm sorry, Norman Osborn's son, Harry Osborne. He's in this movie. You guys know that actor's name?
Dean.
Dane DeHaan.
Yeah.
Good job. He's in, what else is he in? He's in that one movie with like the powers,
the superhero kind of.
the first person like superhero film.
Yeah.
Start with a C. Remember they like videotaped everything? That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's like
It was
dark,
a good movie.
dark movie. He was like the main bad
Michael
kid.
B. Jordan.
Was he in that?
I think he was in that.
No, I don't, unless we're talking about something different. We might be talking about different things. Either way,
I'll
though,
get it in a minute. Go, carry on.
he does a great job as Harry Osborne. I mean, he's fine. He's just, again, cheesy. Feels like little kid. Like,
Chronicle.
can't take Chronicle.
Here we are.
I would have got there. That's him, right?
Yep. Michael B. Jordan. Also
2012.
in the movie.
Nice. He does okay. I just feel like, again, I'm just not really buying it.
There's no connection.
And when
Just like all of a sudden, like, oh, we're friends. I remember.
yeah, like great friends.
Right.
Like, hey, you know what's not suspicious? You get announced as the CEO of Oscorp. You're an instant billionaire overnight. All of a sudden, one guy shows up to the building and is like, I'm friends with the guy. They let him straight up to the board floor.
Sure.
Oh, you know him? And he's like, what are you doing here, Peter? I was like, if I was you, I'd be like, I know exactly what you're doing here.
Yeah.
You're here for my money.
Yep.
But it turns out they're old friends from when they were kids. And what do we find out? Harry Osborne is dying, just like his dad, who we do meet in this movie. That actor, he's in a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he's a character actor
Really?
for sure.
He's a character actor. He's in all sorts of things. Yeah, and if you look up the cast of this, and you can find Norman Osborn, and we see him. You know, he was dying in the last movie. Here he is dying again. Remember, he was the one that made Dr. Connors. He pushed him over the edge to say, you start human testing.
Yeah.
Well, he tried it himself. He's got scaly, long fingernails. His skin is, he's as green as a lizard.
Yeah.
He's essentially like the Green Goblin, but like if he didn't get any cool powers and just got sick.
Didn't have any limbs to regenerate.
No, nothing like, if you would have cut off his fingers, like, that's pretty cool. But other than that, I feel pretty bad. And apparently the Osborne disease, it's a curse. Like he's like, is your hand shaking? Harry's like, yeah, it is. So all the Osbornes get this weird disease. What is that, like Parkinson's?
Osbornosis.
Like that's the only thing I could think is like, I guess maybe something like Parkinson's because like it's like a brain.
And it looked like he was getting like lesions or something.
Yeah, he starts getting lesions on his side.
Yeah.
And his dad hands him all the research to help him study it. Turns out the one thing that could save him is the blood of someone that's maybe been bitten by one of the radioactive spiders. Thankfully.
Huh. Wonder if we know anyone.
Thankfully.
Might be able to take care of that.
And not only that, but he's like, hey, Peter takes pictures of this guy. Peter, get me this guy's blood. Peter's like, I don't want to give you the blood because something bad might happen. Whenever I was actually thinking, if you guys are as good friends as you say, just give it to him.
Right.
He works at Oscorp. He's dying.
The blood.
Just give him, and like, had he given him the blood?
What if?
Like, we still don't even know. They should have made it to where, like, he steals the blood.
Yeah.
And then find out, because they kept being like, or something worse.
Right.
And then you never find out because what's he actually do? Oh, they found some of the venom stored away at Oscorp, and that's how they got it into him. And the side effects? I mean, he turns into
a monster.
More than a monster.
A goblin.
It's kind of silly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like he's like,
totally cheesy.
Peter.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite. Thing of the whole movie.
Like it's like if someone dressed up as William Dafoe's Green Goblin, and they did it poorly.
Yeah.
And just like a Halloween costume of someone trying to be like a high school student trying to be Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, they're like, look, I'm the Green Goblin from Spider-Man. You're like, from Spider-Man?
Spider-Man? Which Spider-Man?
Which Spider-Man?
The good one or the other one?
Well, you're the Garfield one. Okay.
Right.
Norman Osborn was played by Chris Cooper.
Chris Cooper.
Chris Cooper. Yep, that's him.
He's all over the place. That's
yeah.
him. Oh yeah, he's in all sorts
laundry
of
list of accomplishments and roles.
I will say this, we're kind of like going through the characters. I think is the best way to do it sometimes. But let's get back to Electro. Looks unbelievable.
Oh my gosh!
And what a villain, really.
I was like, man, I was watching it yesterday, and I was like, man, he looks great, fantastic. And really, I think the only way they could have gone, because if you look at the classic Electro outfit, the green spandex with the lightning bolt, and like the sunflower looking, just crazy yellow headdress thing he wears.
And here they really just go the straight like blue look.
Oh yeah,
looks like Mr. Manhattan,
Dr. Manhattan,
Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Yeah, come on.
He looks just like him. Even like the way he like comes together with his spine and stuff. I was like, that looks really really cool. I thought the dubstep was a little lame. Like when they're fighting against Spider-Man, like at the
okay.
power grid.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
Even though I was like thinking to myself, it sounds kind of cool,
right.
but like just kind of lame that it's in the fight. But I mean, looked amazing, seemingly limitless power.
Yeah.
And looks great on screen. Like a villain that really is too much for Spider-Man.
Oh, for sure.
And for that alone, like, we'll talk about what we're going to talk about, why we're talking about this movie is because we're talking about another movie. You talk about a character I'd love to see come back in a way. Electro is one of them.
Yeah.
Because you're talking like maybe high stakes, like villain at some point.
Yeah.
Harry Osborne, though.
Yeah, they can leave him out.
Let's not see this one.
Please don't show us what.
Yeah.
Although we could probably surmise that it won't be. I mean, I guess we could see multiple.
Well, you could
But
see
from
more than
the-
one.
I love how they had the new No Way Home poster today,
Uh-huh.
and the Green Goblin's in the exact same spot.
Yeah,
on the
oh
poster.
yeah, it's
It looks like they
way
just
back there.
copy pasted it.
Yeah.
and just were like, boop.
It's
And it's like the same helmet and stuff, right? But like, what poster is that? Is that just fan made?
No, it's
no
the real
it's-
poster.
It's from
Both
Sony.
of the official posters.
Both of the official posters look very poorly made.
Oh boy. Yeah, I know. I was thinking, and then there's supposed to be a new trailer tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow evening. Yeah,
Okay, we'll see.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk
Yep.
about it. We'll talk about it. And why we're talking about Spider-Man No Way Home, of course. But here we are, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, getting back into it and seeing if we can wrap this thing up, and we'll get some gut checks, feelings, and ratings. I think that the fight scenes look really good. The CGI is unbelievable. The suit, the Spider-Man suit, night and day different suits.
yeah,
It almost feels like they took a little bit more out of the Raimi, for sure. They have the more the outline on the suit kind of sticks out. You got more brighter red and blue in the suit. The swinging looks awesome.
great.
The webs, I love the webs. Even the testing, the electrical charge of the webs, I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of cool.
Yep.
And oh man, funny part, like toward the end when Gwen Stacy's like, I've got to help you. I got to be here to help you. And she runs up to the police chief. She's like, my dad was so and so, and he goes, oh, cool, I'm the police chief now. What can
Yeah.
I help you with? And she goes, I need jumper cables and copper wire. And I go, you're in New York.
Yeah.
There's probably an Ace Hardware every 20 feet. And the police chief's like, yeah, I guess I could get you that, but I'm a cop. Like,
Is there a crime somewhere I need
yeah.
to help
Did you need
with?
to like put up a roadblock or like something like that? Like just pop it in the store and get these things. But anyway, they figure it out. It allows his web shooters to work around Electro. Gets a little wild in the big fight scene between him and Electro at the power
plant?
grid.
Yeah,
Like wild as in a lot, but I feel like it was all right. What do you guys think of this fight scene?
I thought it was awesome.
That was pretty epic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got him, shocking from tower to tower, and
Yeah,
Spider-Man swinging around. I thought it's one of the few things that the movie did well. I think
Exactly.
is the fight scenes.
absolutely. And chasing him down, Electro like jumping from him, even from like building to building.
Yeah.
kind of looks like the Sandman, but just like electric.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up beating him in the end. I forget how does he do it? He overcharges him.
Yeah.
That's the key, right? He learned with the batteries. If you overcharge the battery,
Pop.
Boom.
Yeah.
Gwen helps him. I mean, this feels like the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, you're definitely 100% done
It's
with the movie.
Carrie fell asleep, woke up at
And
that part.
yeah,
and she
yeah,
was like, "Oh, good, the very end." And I was like,
You click the time and you're like, there's still 20 minutes left in this movie.
"Yes." What happens next?
And then out of nowhere,
that was really good. Except his wasn't even that good.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Like yours was too good.
right.
And he coming in. This is what I loved about this. So they put the venom in Harry Osborne, and he starts going through the changes, and it's like really messing with him. Like he's like just his skin's changing. He's shaking, and he's in like a fever mess. And in the middle of this, he's like, "Oh, what's this hoverboard?"
Yeah.
And he just gets on the hoverboard
Right.
mid transformation.
Has anyone ever tried to ride a hoverboard? You don't just jump on.
I mean, I've rode the wheel ones at your house,
Yeah.
and like I really almost like hurt myself.
There's a learning curve.
Yeah, this guy's flying around, no problem.
Zipping around the
Fresh
air.
transformation. Doesn't even need a night of rest.
Nope.
And he comes after him, and he says, like, you know what? You're Peter Parker. I figured this out pretty quickly because Gwen Stacy's there. He decides immediately, I'll just take Gwen Stacy from you.
Yeah.
big fight scene, flying all around. And then we get the church bell tower, or the clock tower. This is kind of where they all come together. The hoverboard. He throws Gwen Stacy down. I mean, this looks really good.
Oh yeah,
And
straight from the comics right here.
And this is straight out of the comics.
Yeah.
And she's fallen, and he catches her, and he's got her with the web, and he's kind of hanging, but then he's still fighting down, and Peter ends up getting the web around Harry's neck.
Yeah.
And it's tied within like the gears of the clock. And also hanging with Gwen Stacy, the web is about to be pinched off by the same gears. And Peter has to like make the ultimate choice, right? Like, can I kill the bad guy or get him away from me at least and save my gal? And he goes for it. And Gwen falls down super slow. She's very far down the path, and he shoots his web. The greatest sequence of this thing going through, like
gears
all the
flipping,
everything, just barely sliding by. Has like the hand reaching out, like the web.
Yeah,
kinda.
the little web hand.
Little web hand, like, here I come.
Take my strong hand.
That's how it was. And it's going. Gets her at the end. Bounces off the ground. Breaks her back. She's dead.
Yeah, it smacks her head. Smacks the back of her head on the ground, on the pavement.
What'd you think of that?
I was like, man, I can't believe they had the balls to do this.
We're going to kill her.
Yeah.
Like, he tried to keep her away. He promised her dad. She was like, I'm going to help with this.
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
You were about to go to Oxford. She like got in.
Yeah.
This is tragic.
Yeah.
It is.
This young girl's future is just gone. And Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man just like, I mean, he cries and he's sad and stuff.
Yeah. He did the Andrew Garfield and, really acted out that. I mean, I felt it.
Yeah, I felt it. It felt like you got a little bit of realism again. Like Peter Parker's just a kid. She's gone. But bold for sure. And definitely I mean, I kind of like it in a way of like, listen, if we're going to do this, let's go maybe a little bit comic literal, like whatever happened, and let's take it to the third movie.
Right.
Never came.
Nothing.
I'm trying to think how this one ends. It's her funeral. Months go by. Peter Parker visits her grave forever and ever, just like, really, really feeling it.
Quit. He's not Spider-Man.
He's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man's been gone
for 5 months, I think.
5 months. 5 months has gone by. Crime is off the charts. Even Aunt May, like, kind of knows.
Right.
Again. They do this weird thing where Aunt May kind of
We could really use that Spider-Man guy.
That spider guy.
Yeah.
Sally Fields. She's great. And then she gives him a little speech, and then he looks up the high school speech from Gwen Stacy, which played back.
He found it on the little jump drive, or the little flash drive
that said Gwen's speech.
Gwen's speech.
Nothing else on there.
No.
Like, just that one video.
That's how we kept videos in 2014.
Yeah, just
flash drives.
filing your flash drives and
some masking tape on it.
The funniest thing to me about it, which it wasn't meant to be funny, like she gives this speech that she gave to the high school class about like persevering,
right? And
if we live as hard as we can and we fail, then at least we still lived as hard as we could, which is a great message, and it helps them get over the hump. But it felt like this is definitely a speech for Peter and the people there listening, but it felt like more for Peter.
Right.
It felt like it was like to one person. But either way, that's me nitpicking. He goes back to being Spider-Man, and we don't see him quite yet, but guess who's back? Oh, well, first of all, we're skipping a big part.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The tease.
The tease
of Sinister Six.
Sinister Six.
During the transformation in the basement, the Oscorp basement.
Yes.
Where you saw the Doc Ock arms
just moving on their own.
You saw the classic vulture wings.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
The vulture wings, and then the last thing you see is the first one to come out.
Yep.
And guess who's back, folks? Paul Giamatti.
Yep, here he comes.
The Rhino?
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
Is that what he's called?
These
Spider-Man villains. The Rhino, the Lizard,
the Vulture. Let's give us all the animals.
All the animals.
The aardvark.
And yeah, I mean, this Rhino looks pretty cool. Like big, epic. He's tearing up the city. Get a young little kid in a Spider-Man outfit. The kid from like earlier in the movie comes up, is real brave. I mean, terrible police and parents that just
Oh,
let
yeah.
him run out there.
Like, oh, my son, he just ran. We're just going to stop you.
Yeah, no, ma'am, you can't go out there, but we'll let your 8-year-old boy.
He's dressed as Spider-Man. He can handle it.
It got me a little bit,
Yeah.
that part. Like, whenever when he shows up and he's like, get on out of here, you did a good job. And then the big, like, they're running at each other. I mean, epic ending.
Yeah.
Really.
Like we're going to make a third movie.
Oh, like, this is far from over.
Oh, for sure. Nothing.
Wish it would happen.
I mean, that's sort of, right? Exactly. All right, that's The Amazing Spider-Man 2. No end credit scene.
Nothing.
Yeah. I don't want to say I wish, but
You always wish.
Yeah.
but like the fact that they tease that stuff and it just comes out 7 years later in a whole different Spider-Man franchise.
Yes. Yeah, like, what's happening?
Yeah.
You did get the Man in the Hat again. That was leading the Sinister Six.
Yeah, Mr. Fierce, I do believe.
Is that a character?
Never heard of him before.
Okay.
I don't think so. They also teased Black Cat. Felicity Jones was Felicia. And I guess could have been Felicia Hardy.
Who was that in the movie?
Yeah, Felicity Jones.
Okay, when did they tease her?
She was in Oscorp somewhere.
Okay,
just working, as everyone does.
Everyone in New York.
And New York works for Oscorp.
What else about this movie? I think we.
So
Go
I have something.
Please.
Remember earlier we talked about how the plane scene that it felt like one of them was going to come back. Has anyone watched the deleted scenes from this movie?
No,
Of course not.
Exactly.
all right, well, go.
Well,
go
one
and
of
tell
them
us.
is, and I saw this on Twitter in the past few days. It is a scene of, I believe it takes place after Gwen's funeral, and Peter is in the graveyard,
Mhm.
and sees his dad there.
So his dad made.
You find out nothing about. He doesn't say anything about where he's been or what's going on, but it was just like a tease. His dad, like with a beard, and Peter's, of course, crying.
Dude, this.
I mean, I'm sure I would cry under that circumstances too. But
Yeah, but still, like, it's Spider-Man though. You're
Right.
It's Peter Parker.
Yeah.
You're trying to, like, he's just not embodying, like, he's not my Spider-Man,
No.
But anyway, so to your point though, that is exactly what that one parachute was for.
Mhm.
One of them was coming back. Yeah, he was just weird. Like, he was weird, like Andrew Garfield, like with Sally Fields. All I could think about during this scene, it's like whenever they're both sad and they're like crying, they're missing they're missing Uncle Ben, and she's like, oh, he wants to, like, find his parents, and she's like, you're my boy,
Right. I
Yeah.
am your boy, but I need to know.
but I need to know. Even that was the explanation.
Right.
Like, just so weak. You
Yeah.
could have said that in a million different ways.
Mhm.
And he's just got his, like, head to head with her, and he's like holding her face. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna be like holding my aunt like that. Even like my mom, and like in that
Right.
moment, like maybe if it's like, but it wasn't that intense. So I was just thinking, is Sally Fields like, this guy needs to let go of me?
Yeah.
Like Andrew Garfield, I'm Sally Fields.
Right.
my boy.
That's like I said
my
before.
boy.
It's like such great actors they're getting, and it just didn't work.
Yeah. I mean, the Harry Osborne stuff, like, it felt exactly like, what that part felt to me? It felt to me like, all right, well, they had Harry in the first one.
So we gotta
like make it work.
we gotta shoehorn him in there.
And that's exactly what they did. I mean, Emma Stone shows up again. She, she's there, and
Yeah.
she's doing it. But yeah, let's just do it. Let's get ratings. Giggler, you're up first.
2.5.
Scotty,
2.6.
wow, I went 2.9.
Oh,
Hey,
All
lucky
three.
you.
How about that?
definitely better than the first one.
That's what I was gonna get at. Was I think it's for me, it's miles better than the first one, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Is like, it would have been cool if there was a third one.
Yeah.
If it was like, well, the first one sucked, the second one was okay, and the third one's bomb. Like, that would have been so cool. I'd been like, it's like, you didn't really see anything like this. So Sony, I guess at that point, it was 2014. Something had them hit the brakes.
Yeah. Well, they saw it didn't do as well as the first one.
Yep.
it wasn't gaining any steam, and they saw the money that Marvel was raking in on their connected universe, and they knew, like, we've only got Spider-Man.
Yep.
And we've got the Spider-Man characters, and that's not enough.
They're like, we need to hold on to it for now.
Yeah.
Let's wait. And then we know what happened after that. As the story goes, they finally made that deal with Marvel Studios, got Tom Holland involved, and that's where we're at now.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're in, how many movies has this guy been in now? This will be like the 6th movie.
6, I think, yeah.
And the 3rd Spider-Man film, No Way Home's coming. Who are we seeing from this Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie? We got Electro. Is it happening?
Jamie Foxx.
Apparently so. Per Jamie Foxx.
Possibly. You never know. All Giamatti.
Yeah.
When you see the
calling it out,
when you see that what do you call them? The what 6?
Sinister Six.
When you see the Sinister Six in this movie, you see
the suits back there, and you're like,
and I'm watching it like in preparation for this movie. I'm kind of going like, are they going to pull all this in,
right?
Like in some way, and like it will work, and who will they keep and who won't they?
Well, they definitely got the highlight of the movie, and that's Jamie Foxx.
Yes,
as Electro,
and that's what it is. They're bringing back Electro. Are we going to see Andrew Garfield? Because this is the last Andrew Garfield film, so we need to say now definitively. Let's make our calls. Andy, yes or no?
No.
Scott,
I'm gonna go yes, just because Andy said no.
I believe that maybe yes, and I honestly just feel like I don't want him to be in it. Like if they do bring him in, like I hope it's good, because if they do bring him in, it'd be hilarious if he was like bad.
Oh yeah,
but like it wouldn't be that funny because like I don't want him to ruin the movie.
No,
I mean
he's gonna be.
If I
change,
you changed.
So you're
one of us.
If he's gonna be no. in No Way Home, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You say yes or no.
Can I answer tomorrow after the trailer?
No,
reveal?
no. You gotta do it right after the trailer. Absolutely not. You call it now. And you know what? Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna commit to no. He will not be in it.
I actually think it's gonna be yes.
I think even if they bring him back with Toby to have the classic scene of the 3 Spider-Men
just
pointing at each other.
I guess if I see them fighting with each other, like that would be kind of cool. Just like very into the Spider-Verse, right? Yeah. Like just a bunch of spider people.
Yeah.
I just don't need him to be like a part of it.
He's not going to be a main focus of the story, and this might be a thing at the very end of the movie where like we got to send these guys back to where they belong,
right?
And in swings 2 other spider guys,
right,
to take their respective villains back to their universe.
That's what it is. We got to get back very much like Into the Spider-Verse,
and we'll have him like land on the car next to me, and he pulls his mask off, like, oh, Spider-Man, oh, you're Spider-Man, like, oh, that one's your guy, get him out of here,
you get him back. Yeah. Like we'll see you later, Peter. Bye, right? Peter. I mean, I'm nerding out about it.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah,
I think I think if he is in it, he won't be a major part. Like we could say maybe. The movie's almost 3 hours, so
yeah,
20 minutes screen time,
20 minute fight scene.
But my thing is, if they're gonna have Electro and potentially the Lizard, why would they not have him? They're gonna take those villains from this movie, but not.
If it were me and I'm like in the writing room, I'd be like, we just don't really need them. Just get the villains.
But here's my question: didn't almost all of these characters die in their movies?
Yeah, but
did Electro not die?
But also,
did Doc Octopus not die?
That's a really good question. So
Green Goblin definitely died.
Well, I think so Doc Ock, he fell down to the river with his son.
Yeah.
So we don't really know.
I mean, it showed him. It showed him, eyes closed,
also
floating down.
Alfred Molina let it slip that his scene in the movie picks up right where that left off.
Right.
So,
okay. But even though he looks different, he's wearing like glasses and stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess it could be like right then, and he just like put on some glasses or something. He's fine. Electro, I mean, he explodes.
Yeah, zaps out, like explainable.
Yeah, because you could be like, all right, this happened, and then like in that moment, he was pulled from the multiverse.
Right.
Because like it seems like all of these multiverse. One thing we're learning is about like when a multiverse jump happens.
Yeah.
And we don't know exactly all of it, but like, I mean, spoiler alert for everything that's surrounding this No Way Home movie. But like with Venom, and then like, I mean, Loki, and then we got Spider-Man. Like, there's WandaVision. Like, there's all these different things happening, and the big question of the day has been like, is this all happening at once,
Right?
Or is this like just its own independent little flip? And we just don't know.
I think Marvel has updated their timeline,
Like
for watch orders.
what they? Well, I know they put Shang-Chi after
Shang-Chi.
Falcon the Winter Soldier,
Right.
and then I think is Eternals after that.
I think Eternals is after that.
And I mean, that's what I got on the website. So hopefully we're following suit. Anything else that they changed?
I want to say Loki happened before.
Loki is definitely before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know how we know this is because of Disney Plus Day.
Right.
And whenever you watch this Marvel featurette, you find out exactly what order the TV shows go in.
Right.
All right, guys. We gave our rating on The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Another one for the Sony library. Before we do that, ratings from online, 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, 52% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 3 out of 5 on Common Sense. Yeah, that's looking about right, I guess. It's hard to tell with superhero films always because, I mean, take ratings for what they are. Take them you got to take them with a grain of salt.
You get angry nerds out there, and they will do whatever they have to do to give you the rating that they think you deserve.
Right. No question. No doubt. But you guys can let us know what you think of the movie. That's what we want to know at mostlysuperheroes.com/Sony, where you can find all of these films. The Amazing Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, the Venoms. It's all happening there, and we'll keep filling it up as Sony keeps dropping out their Spider-Man, Spider-Verse. Like, what do they call it? The Sony Spider-Man universe.
Spider-Man universe, yeah.
You guys want to hear some quick nuggets about The Amazing Spider-Man 3 and its cancellation?
Please. That's perfect book into this one.
Yes. I got some. This is blowing my mind, and I wish I would have read this hours ago. So this is from website called Fandom, Canceled Movies Wiki.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing Spider-Man 3 was originally supposed to come out 2016, got pushed back to 2018, was basically canceled because of they thought that he was too old to be Spider-Man.
What?
And also the Sony movie, like, remember that hack that happened around 2014?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I guess that something happened there that led to the cancellation of this. But listen to this plot description.
Okay.
The film said after the events of the movie we just talked about, Peter grieves over the death of Gwen and decides to use his blood to revive various people who died while he was still living. Peter would later face off with new villains. Listen to some people that are supposed to be in here. Shailene Woodley as Mary Jane. Paul Giamatti supposed to come back.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of the people, Black Cat. Did you say Black Cat earlier?
Yeah,
Black Cat, played by Felicity Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Emma Watson as Jill Stacy. Let's see.
Wow.
Chris Cooper as Norman Osborne / Goblin King.
Okay.
J.K. Simmons as You-Know-Who.
Oh, yeah.
Zoe Deschanel as Betty Brant. And Zachary Quinto as Mysterio.
What in the world?
I would buy that.
That's a lot.
Zachary Quinto, he's good.
I mean, that's a hodgepodge, but I would have watched it.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing people back to life? Is that a comic story, Scotty?
Man, I don't know. Talking about like a zombie Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, right? Something goes terribly wrong. Maybe that's how she becomes Spider-Gwen.
Do it now.
I mean,
yeah. And I mean, we were right, too, on our assessment earlier that they just moved in favor of the MCU version, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they pushed it back to 2018,
that's
2016
insane.
Was Captain America Civil War.
Right.
That's right.
And then we got Spider-Man Homecoming in 2017.
Yeah. And then after they did that, they were like, only one more movie with our Spider-Man in it, Marvel. And then everybody freaked out and lost it.
Oh, man.
And I was going, guys, it's all fine.
They're going to make it work.
The audience is massive.
There's money involved. A boatload of money.
Yes.
They'll figure it out.
And guess what? They did.
Yep.
We're seeing it now. The Spider-Verse is real, and we're talking about it. Okay, let's get into it because there's more Spider-Man ahead. Let's talk about what's coming up. Yeah, a lot of Spider-Man happening on the show. We did it. Thank you, Phase Zero. Thank you, Brandon Davis and the folks over at comicbook.com for inspiring us to do this and to revisit these films, and they're all in that Sony library. I mean, what a great time.
Yeah.
Talking about these Tobey films, talking about these films, and not only talking about them and reliving them over the last, 20 years of these movies, but being able to pull out certain characters and theorize about them being in this movie, I'm still just nerding out so hard about it. I'm going to call it right now. We're going to see Paul Giamatti's Rhino in the movie. No Way Home. You watch it.
All right.
Right, yes.
I'm going to boo that one.
Thank you.
Terrible.
Oh, yeah, but you went for it, and I respect that. But
I don't. You got to shoot your shot.
Yeah.
you got to go for it. But I think we might get an Electro. We were getting Doc Ock. We're probably going to get Tobey Maguire. We don't know if we're going to get Andrew Garfield. We might be getting
Green Goblin.
the Green Goblin, the Lizard. I mean, they are definitely showing off the Goblin.
Yeah.
The question is,
He's there.
He's there. You got the bombs. You hear the laughing. Is it William Dafoe?
I think so.
I think it's going to be.
Because it'd be kind of weird if it was like, I mean, unless it was like Harry, like for like James Franco, and
I mean,
Toby and him have a moment.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Willem Dafoe's character was definitely dead at the end of Spider-Man 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it could be a different universe.
Could have been
multiverse, etc.
It's a multiverse.
You never know.
Infinite.
I feel like there's just no bounds.
Right.
For what's about to happen.
I mean, characters that died, we could get them.
Yes, I think so too. I think they could like easily just make a comeback. Like here
Right.
they are. They're part of this now. But essentially, I feel like we're getting Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, almost like the live version,
Live action.
but mixed with the Marvel universe. So like Doctor Strange, obviously playing a critical role. And man, I just can't wait. December 17th. I mean,
It's
we're
creeping up. 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
It got moved up to the 15th in the UK, I think.
Oh, those
It's
lucky.
like, let's go.
Lucky.
Guess I
Brits.
bought my plane tickets. And speaking of the animated movie, I thought we should really bookend the last of the Sony Spider-Man films, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh man, this one's great.
What do you guys
Can't
think?
wait to watch it again.
I like this
You
idea.
guys want to do a watch and review retell of this one?
Absolutely.
We have our rating on this animated flick that just won so many awards. It's got a sequel in the making. And man, yeah, I love this movie. So I think what we'll do, we'll watch this after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before we move on, book your calendars. After Thanksgiving, get ready for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Watch it. Come back and listen to us. And then also MCU Town, talking about Spider-Man No Way Home, December 17th, it's coming. And the week of Thanksgiving, this week, just in a few days, you get the premiere of Hawkeye.
Yes.
He's coming in. 2 episodes, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
And if we just talked about Disney Plus Day to Day, go back and watch the features on Disney Plus. Watch the premiere 14-minute thing that ties all these shows together. There's also a new Marvel Legends, not the behind the scenes, the recap of Hawkeye's story. So from beginning, it's one of the longest ones they've done. They're usually like 6 minutes or so. This one's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it gives you the full scoop on like this character, everything he's been through. So it'll get you primed and ready. I really love that Marvel's doing this because it's just like, you need something to catch people up.
Yeah.
And also just for new fans that are like, who's this character? If you're wondering, go watch Marvel Legends on Disney Plus. But then Hawkeye, here we go. Haley Steinfeld, Jeremy Renner. We're going to get the Christmas Hawkeye show. Scotty, are you excited?
Oh, Rogers, the musical.
Rogers.
How could you not be excited?
100%.
The trailer, I saw that and I was like, surely they'll give us like little tidbits of that.
Oh, man.
Andy,
hope so.
how you feeling about this one, Andy?
I'm lukewarm.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's never been like, he's just been good but not great for me always.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know why. I think it's just he's a human that shoots arrows.
He's kind of like the sixth man, like, basketball reference there
Yeah.
for all you
Off the bench.
and just, he does a good job and he plays his part. But you're right. It's like,
But
he's not LeBron.
I think though, like the fact that, I don't know, this Rogers the musical, like you just said, it's Christmas. I think it has potential to be like a secret weapon, maybe.
Yeah, and also like what we've heard is like this is very much going to be like on the ground Marvel show.
Yeah.
I mean, we just saw Eternals, so now like here we go on the opposite end of the spectrum,
Taking it back to the streets.
taking it back to the streets. I like it. And then after this, man, Spider-Man, and then after the new year, I got to make a new slide for all the Marvel stuff that we're going to see in 2022.
Season 3 of Us is going to be
Mostly superheroes, baby.
lit AF.
Yeah, it's just going to be going off the charts, and not to mention all the Star Wars stuff, the DC
Star
stuff that's
Wars,
popping
yeah.
out. We're just on Marvel today.
Right.
There's a lot of other things happening out here. And then the last piece, we talked about it last week, but just to remind you folks right here before Thanksgiving holiday, we got the new merch store with Bonfire, new designs, new styles at mostlysuperheroes.com/merch. I think that everyone in this room has bought some stuff.
Absolutely.
I think I saw your names coming in.
Some fresh looking duds we got there.
Yeah, Scotty, Andy,
Can't wait.
appreciate you guys supporting the show and repping the merch. And you got something to get your family, your friends, some gifts out there. mostlysuperheroes.com/merch. All new designs, retro, our metal, the college look, and the classic looks. Go check them all out. And I can't wait for you guys to get wearing Mostly Superheroes on your body. Man, number 47, approaching the end of the year.
Oh, go back to the Marvel slide. We gotta finish up on
What?
Scott's
no.
Good
follow-up.
call. Wow,
not-
we almost missed it. So, guys, we're probably going to close out this disagreement we had
week-long debate
about Eternals. So we're going to give it again. Spoiler alert for Eternals. We have to do that. But we talked about this during fan mail. Scotty, tell us what actually happened. The debate is, did Arishan pull up 3 or 4 people?
Folks, where's everybody set?
I think he's pulled up 3 people, and
3?
Sprite was not included because Sprite is a human now.
Agreed.
You are correct.
Yes. And the real shout out goes to the viewer on YouTube, our newest fan, Emmanuel.
Yep.
Because he said he saw it, he remembered, and Scotty, thanks for looking that up. Do you remember where you found it?
Just a Google search.
Just a regular Google feed.
Yep. Told me right away.
How do you feel?
Devastated.
Just real disappointed in myself.
I'm gonna go watch the movie again right after we get out of the studio.
I mean, that sounds pretty good. Maybe I'll join you. Can't wait to see this one in IMAX at home. Thanks for looking that up. Now we finally know. So really, Eternals, Sprite's back on Earth, just like I'm a human, and
Who knows?
Where are my friends?
Right? Does she have powers or does she not?
I don't think so. I think that was like the whole thing. Like she was like, "Here, I touched you," and now she's like, "I'm a human."
Okay.
I think
so.
Yeah.
I agree.
We'll find out in a couple years, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll find out probably sooner than that.
Yeah.
Even. All right, guys. Yeah, Thanksgiving week. I mean, I'll just say it before we kick ourselves out of here, but super thankful for both of you guys. Thankful for all you fans and listeners. We're gonna be taking a week off, so you're gonna be getting this episode right here on Thanksgiving week, and we hope that you spend some time with your family. Take a break. That's what I'll be doing. And Scotty, thanks for coming in and doing Spider-Man with us.
Yeah, super thankful for the invite. Week after week.
Yeah.
And having a great time.
Yeah, have you back.
Yeah.
Come back again. Sounds like we might have you as a recurring person. I've even made it kind of semi-serious. I put you on the website.
On the website.
You made it into our Mostly Superheroes ads even.
Oh, it's official.
It's official.
Can't get rid of me now.
If you don't mind, we'd love to have you back as much as you want. And
I'm here.
we got some big stuff to wrap up the end of the year.
Yeah.
Have a good Thanksgiving, dude. Giggler,
As well.
did you have a good time?
Yes, I always do. Those tacos were a great start to the day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had nice tacos for dinner. Slow cooker tacos. Shout out Carrie. Well done. And
I thought I was gonna just zonk out, fall asleep during this episode, but the content is too good.
we just kept you 2 alive.
Yeah.
Hey, Rise of Electro.
Rise of the Giggler.
Yeah, the rise.
Are you re-
Okay.
You ready for your Thanksgiving?
So ready. Gotta figure out how to cook a turkey, but we'll get there.
You will. That's right. And listeners, viewers, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys doing contests, getting more people online, viewing our stuff on YouTube, on Facebook, listening where you get your podcasts. We appreciate you talking about us and supporting your favorite independent podcast. A lot happening the rest of the year. We'll see you after the Thanksgiving break. Go have fun, enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, and we'll see you next time here in the studio in St. Louis, Missouri on Mostly Superheroes. Take it easy.